say 24 hours of the ministry receiving my letter. I was personally, in fact, the Honorable Minister texted me 9 a.m. I must be here. And apart from being official, the Honorable Minister is my Egbon. Sorry, people that don't understand the. It's my Egbon. 4 years ago, I wouldn't have sent a letter here, or some few years back. I wouldn't have sent a letter here asking for courtesy call to the Honorable Minister. The Honorable Minister will just direct as a parastatal under the Ministry of Information and Communication then that I want you to do this, I want you to do that before I ask. We would have briefed him about our activities and it should just be a directive. But they said only change that does not change. And that is why we are in another ministry now. The Honorable Minister is heading the Ministry of Information and Culture. And I'm really very grateful for this quick assembly. It means we still have some respect. And I really appreciate, sir, and I really appreciate everybody in the ministry for this gesture to meet with us. I'm here for 3 things. You will realize that the posts all over the world, we are about 660,000 network. In Nigeria, we only pick about 3,000 out of this 660,000 network. And we are one body together. We communicate together, we do so many things together. Information moves within ourselves. So we reach everywhere physically and maybe now digitally than any other institution you can think of in the world. And we know the importance of information. We know the importance of people knowing what to do at the right time, and this is the basis of economic development anywhere in the world now. The world has changed from only physical is still there, to digital. And NIPOST, actually the post, we don't want to leave ourselves behind. Years back, we have started thinking of creating telecenter all over the country. In fact, we have started remodeling some of our post offices. We reduced the counter and create internet section of the counter. We have that one in Gaki, we have in Wusi, we have in so many areas. I think within the last 4 years, we have remodeled more than 300 post offices. That we know that we have remodeled it to be IT compliance. And the government has given us, we have a relationship with Galaxy Backbone to install 1,500 VSAT on our post offices. Right now, we have installed 320 VSAT. Incidentally, about over 100 is working effectively because of power. I mean, one of our challenges, because of power, is working effectively. So if you go across, which I'm quite sure, even before the Honorable Minister became Honorable Minister, 4 or 5 years ago, without knowing, I went to his hometown. I remodeled the post office there. So, and this place here there, where we can equip, we equip. Even the neighboring town, I remodeled the post office there and created an internet center, which we are managing. That is Ajasepo, which we are managing now on PPP basis. In some area, we will not manage it on PPP basis, like the one we did. Sorry, I'm starting from where we come from. It's all over the country. So don't say it is Kwara alone. From Borno to Bayelsa to everywhere, we have really work well. And it is on the basis of all this that I believe that we should come to you, because I know you want to get information to the people, rural areas, people that are neglected, even urban people that are neglected, because there are so many people, particularly in Lagos, for example, that that does not know what is going on. So we believe we should come to you. We should form a synergy together so that we'll be able to create what I call telecenters into this all these locations as much as possible. We have been doing, within this last 1 or 2 years, we have been doing something like that. Like in Cuba, for example, we created an avenue point also, where we have so many computers. People can go in there, they check information, they do so many things, they do that. We have in Ondo, we have in Benue, what's the name of Badekia? We have in so many places like that. Okay. I think you know we have in Badekia, we have in Palm. We have in Palm, so we have in yes. So basically, sometimes we do it ourselves. Sometimes when it is advantageous, we collaborate with other federal government organizations or even private organizations to do this thing. The whole thing is that we want to serve, and we want the post office to be relevant in all areas of our economy. And most countries leverage on that outlet. We are the front. Sorry to say that. We are the front, and we want you to leverage on our outlets to reach as much people as possible in Nigeria and even in the world. So that is one of the reasons why I'm here. The second reason is patronage. We have 3 dimensions to our work. People always think about physical, which is physical delivery, which is a must. Because no matter the telephone we are using, no matter the internet, you still have what we call the last mile delivery. That is the physical delivery. You can use your phone. Please send that parcel, send that bag, send that cap to me. And you pass with it, go to the postal outlet, you pass with it, and you send it. Even me, business means, you send it. I'm quite sure there are a lot of business means that has been generated here. People talk about post office that because of personal letters, they keep asking questions. Though is the post still relevant? And I say no, we are not dying. We are going further. It is through the personal letter are coming down everywhere in the world. So there's nothing anybody can do about that one. But the business mails are coming up. And when I say business mails, there are many. Parcel is part of mails. Cargo is part of mails. So many things. And even the dividend warrant, etc. There are so many business mails. Movement of letter move from this ministry to another ministry to different places all over the world. And it is still through the post that you send these mails. So the business mails are moving. In fact, the GSM, the internet, are enhancing the increase in this business mail. And that is what resulted into what we call e-commerce, which is a different something that entirely. So it is on this basis, on the mandate given to us, and one of the mandates given to NIPOS, legal mandate given to NIPOS, is that we are the only one, not any private courier, that can reach everywhere, no matter how remote in the world. We are the only one that can reach them at an affordable cost. Because of that, there's what we call reserve area. The reserve area, because courier, DHL, for example, we only move between Kaduna and Lagos, between Abuja and Port Harcourt, etc. But I doubt it whether they'll be able to go to my village. If they go to my village, it will not be on 50 naira stamp. I'm quite sure they are going to collect a lot of money to get to that place, which is not affordable. It is because of this, sir, that's what we call reserve area. Now it is 500 grams. Anything less than 500 grams, the private courier are not supposed to carry them. But incidentally, we are not really enforcing this issue, which everywhere in the world is like that. So you find out that even government establishments, maybe because they are ignorant of it, they can just call any private courier and send their maize. And it is on the basis of this that I'm praying for the Honorable Minister to consider us as the sole carrier of all their maize. Then the third one, which I know the Honorable Minister, I don't know how we will take it. We want to be visible more than we are visible, and that is why people tell us, are we still there? Because maybe we don't go to press as much as possible. We don't tell the people what we do. I don't even know whether you know that we have established what we call zip code for years. They will ask you internet what is your zip code, and we have it. But because we are timid, we don't go to the press. People don't know that we have that. We have all sections of this. The addressing system, which is one of our major problems in Naples, we have that one. So, and we want to advertise what we are doing through the ministry, through NTA. So I don't know this one, whether the Honorable Minister can intervene on our behalf, even though we are going to pay a courtesy call on NTA for us to have some discount on the information that we want to send through them. I think basically these are the three reasons why I said no. I must make all efforts to get to the Honorable Minister. Thank you, sir.
But really, it's true, I was going through my mail on Saturday evening, and I came across the mail from the PMG, and I looked at my diary, and I said that the only window I had was this morning. I'm sure you are going to wonder what is so urgent, so important, that I will receive a mail from the Postmaster General at about 10 p.m. on Saturday, and I will insist that I will see him at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. I want to assure you it's because we need him more than he needs us. You see, long before now, I'd always seen the post office as one of the most veritable tools we can use to disseminate news and reach the grassroots. While we have 774 local governments in Nigeria and about 8,000 wards, we have functioning more than 3,000 post offices and postal agencies. So what this means is that in every local government, I'm sure of at least 4 or 5 post offices or postal agencies. And you see, post offices and postal agencies are actually hubs of activities, and hubs of news dissemination. I look back to my younger days when the post office was one of the symbols of government. I schooled in a very, very rural area. And in the 60s, there was what we call the Hmic Transport Service. The Hmic Transport Service was a kind of PP arrangement, even those days, between the post office and the private sector. The post office then, realized that they could not deliver, letters or mails to every nook and corner of Nigeria. So they worked an arrangement with established transport, organizations, and Hmic was the leading one. And every market day, when Hmic will come to my village, and will go straight to the postal agency, and the next week, on the assembly line in primary school, our headmaster would now read out those who had letters, and we used to look forward to Hmic's transport coming. But for Hmic and post office, many of us would not have gotten the letters of interviews to secondary school. So it was then the post office that they used to post letters. So if you did, in those days, we used to sit for interviews secondary school for the different schools, the grammar schools, the teacher colleges. You had to sit down and write the exams, and then it is the post office that will come and give you the letters. In those days, the post office also was one of the most important pillars of our economy, because postal orders in those days, which was as good as money. I don't know how many of you remember that there used to be postal orders. Oh, Mr. Lee, I'm surprised that you remember postal orders. Now, I see, that's for sure. And it showed that even in the 60s, before things worked in Nigeria, a postal order effectively was an instrument of the post office. But it was money. Because what you used to do is that if you receive a postal order, you went to the post office and they exchanged it for the exact lot of priority. After we became independent, it changed to OGS, on government service. And most official letters we received would bear OGS. You know that this is an official letter. Now, this post office then used to be extremely organized, and they actually reached the grassroots. But unfortunately, when the decay set in, they started removing postal orders from envelopes, started tampering with letters, and I think that was one of the greatest problems, NIPOST, encountered. Unfortunately for NIPOST, about the time this decay was setting, the courier service came in. And then with the boom in the economy, the courier service, almost took over. But the truth of the matter is that in our laws today, there are certain things that are still reserved for the post office. I think it is the lack of enforcement. We are not the only country where technology has, come to enhance services. Britain, the post office still remains the largest employer of labor in Britain today. So I don't know why this cannot happen in Nigeria. I think it needs purposeful leadership, vision, and the government, we in government, we must look at the post office as a real avenue to create more jobs, improve efficiency. However, the post office must also, devise methods whereby our mails, our packages, our letters will be safe. You see, one thing the courier services have over and above about NIPOST is the security of documents, security of packages. And I think this is where I want to implore the Postmaster General that if you can assure Nigerians of the security of their packages, the integrity of their mails, you are by far cheaper, you cover wider places, and like you said, you are the last mile. But this is an area that you can even use technology to assist you, so that we can go back to the old days of the NIPOST. Now, coming to I said I need NIPOST more than NIPOST needs me. Now, I'm going to explain to you. Very soon we are going to start our reorientation campaign. This is a campaign in which we are going to tell Nigerians about the change we promised, and the fact that that change we promised will only happen if we all change the ways and the manners we do things. And this is why your telecenters become useful to me. This is where your post agencies and post offices become useful to me. I would apply to you to please allow me to brand some of your post offices, some of postal agencies, so that they would see exactly what the change is all about. We are going to have very impressive outdoor images preaching change. And you see, if for instance I have 3,000 locations in Nigeria where I can brand the change mantra, it means that every day in my village, when they are going to the post office or postal agency, they will see the change mantra. And it's cheaper for me, and it serves all of us a purpose. Two, I've also looked at how is it possible to use your 3,000 plus outlets as information centers to disseminate government programs, government policies, to our people. And in this respect, I want the NOA to work closely, that's the National Orientation Agency, to work closely with NIPOST in this respect. We have chief mobilizing officers in each local government in Nigeria. So they will coordinate the various postal agencies in their local government. And I would appeal to you if we can also make use of your premises as mobilizing centers to meet regularly and discuss community issues and community affairs. This is why I say this is the main reason why I quickly acceded to your request for a courtesy call. Now, on our part, we will undertake to assist you. We will endeavor to promote your services. But you see, you must also launch new initiatives, launch new activities, organize workshops, organize seminars, invite us. We'll cover it for you free of charge. But you must, we cannot, you see, we can't report what is not happening. But we'll give maximum, cooperation to you, maximum assistance to you when you have events, and even then when you need to really advertise, we would work with the NTA and FRC and see whether we can give you concessional, rates. But I also want from you your proposals in respect of your telecenters. We want to know, the the level, because when I read your letter, you asked that they are in different stages of completion, and that if fully equipped, I want to know how many of them are equipped, how many of them we are ready to use for our various campaigns, whether we are campaigning against corruption, we are campaigning against terrorism, or we are campaigning, for change. That's why I believe that with one network working with you, I think you are ready to harness new technology to further enhance the services of IPOS. I also know that in most parts of the world today, post offices make their money more from money transfers. And I don't see any organization today that is better placed for money transfer, operations than the NIPOST. Because the truth of the matter is that you have more branches than all the banks in Nigeria put together. That's the reality. Because I do not see any bank outside the metropolis that can boast of 4 or 5 branches in one local government. I don't see and not any one bank. Yes, when you are in the urban areas, you can have as many as 20, 30. But when you go to a local government, like even Kwara State, for instance, I do not see, in my village, for instance, all the banks have run away in my village, but the postal agency is still there. Now, banks run away if there's no business. Post offices don't do that. Because as long as there are people there, they want to reach their relations, they want to do business, and that is why I look at the post offices as a very virile partner in our drive to get information to the grassroots. So I'm sure after this meeting, our team will also meet your team, and we're going to work out a synergy on how best to partner. Thank you very much for coming.